Shame that you found it.
Okay, I'll call the Committee on Education Policy to order. We will take up the following items for approval. Action 1A is the approval of the minutes of the June 5th, 2023 meeting. I move the approval of action item 1A. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That item passes. We will now address the action items on the policy calendar. Policy item 1B1A is a resolution to establish a program in software technology leading to a Bachelor of Science degree at New York City College of Technology. I now call Executive Vice Chancellor and University Provost Wendy Hensel to provide more background information on this item. Wendy.
Thank you. City Tech's proposed 120-credit Bachelor of Science degree program in software technology is designed to integrate applied and hands-on learning with conceptual curriculum to equip students with a systematic, high-level view of the field and all of the skills needed to meet the software system-related needs of public and private organization in every stage of the software development cycle. Upon full accreditation, it will offer a pathway for professional engineering technology licensure for graduates of the program. Additionally, it will fulfill the college's goal of industry-aligned education with innovative, workforce-relevant, cutting-edge degree programs and will have both logical and regional impact. My esteemed colleagues from City Tech, Provost Pamela Brown, has joined us today and can answer any questions the committee might have about this item.
Should I bring her up? Yes. Would you like to come up, Emily?
Oh,
Yeah, I thought the president. Yeah, I thought you were still here, Russ. My apology. Yep, you were not on my script, so come on up.
Well, thank you. So first, I will move the approval of policy 1B. Do I have a second?
second.
Okay, so now we have discussion. Any questions? Yes, Henry.
Got a couple.
Okay.
Here.
How are you?
Okay.
A couple questions. One, I noticed there's an articulation agreement with Borough Manhattan and I guess Queens Community Colleges. LaGuardia has, you said, a related program.
Right.
Does it integrate? Does it not integrate?
They will all be coordinated, and we'll sign articulation agreements with all of them. We have one signed, one about to be signed, and the others will follow.
And number two, there's a 4-year graduation rate in the proposal of 18%. Do you have 5-year and 6-year graduation projections for the program?
Well, these are not easy programs, and that is somewhat of a problem because, as you know, our students come not necessarily where they should be in mathematics and a few areas, but they persist. They do stay with the program. They may not finish it, but they come away with some good skills. And we have a lot of students in these programs. We have 2,000 students in the 4 computer-related programs that we offer. I would just add that in addition to adding program, which is covering new technologies, we are also phasing out programs of similar in area that whose time has come. So, for example, there's a bachelor's and an associate degree in telecommunication technology. And since we're not using dial phones any longer, we are in the process of phasing out those programs. So we are mindful of the fact that we're in a difficult period and we're trying to maximize the impact of what we do. And this program is forward-looking. It looks at the technology that's evolving. It's no longer just a matter of teaching coding. There's the complexity of the entire process, and with AI and the other technologies that are coming in, the students have to have a deeper understanding. So it's, I can't tell you that the rates are going to go higher, but I can tell you that we are trying very hard to get these students to the level that they have to be in order to complete these programs.
So at the moment, you don't have 5- and 6-year projections, or maybe, Pam, you do?
Well, yes, it's on our assessment and institutional research page, but the projections for this program are actually higher graduation rates for 2 reasons. Our existing B.Tech in computer engineering technology is 128 to 132 credits. So that adds a semester right there. And this will be 120 credits. And secondly, there's been a significant increase in the number of full-time students as compared to part-time students. So the lower rates are based on having a much higher percentage of part-time students than we currently have. So we're anticipating that the rates will be higher because of those two factors.
If I can get a little philosophical, I see an 18% graduation rate, and I'm wondering, are these the kind of programs we should be creating? And you're giving a lot of good reasons why it works in this particular program. But the second part of that is, what do we do to get these graduation rates up? And this is, addressed as much to the provost as to you, and not necessarily for an answer, but something we have to think about, and it's, and something we have to work on.
Well, if I can just chime in, we are working system-wide to integrate artificial intelligence and analytic programs to do exactly what you're talking about, which allows early engagement and proactive alerts when students begin to go off a path or show signs of academic distress. So we're literally right on the verge of being able to do much of what we've done by hand, which is high touch and very time intensive, at a much more scale level. So there are lots of programs in place to try and move these numbers along. You're right, 18% is not sufficient.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I have nothing further.
Any other questions? John?
Sorry.
So I'm looking at the PMP from 21-22, and the four-year graduation for New York City Tech seems to be 6.5% for first-time freshmen. So it's actually 3 times the current rate. So 18 sounds low, but unless I'm reading this too quickly, it's actually higher than what's expected for the cohort that goes to City Tech.
I'm not sure that makes me feel better.
No. The highest in the system for 4 years. Over 6 years, it increases, of course, but Baruch's the highest at 56%. I think it should be 70. A lot of SUNY counterparts are in the 70s, but they're low, and I think you're right to focus on them.
Thank you. Anyone else? So let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? That item passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Policy item 1B1B is a resolution to establish a program leading to the MD degree as a standalone registered program of the CUNY School of Medicine at the City College of New York. Again, I invite Executive Vice Chancellor Hensel to provide some background.
The proposed registration of the MD degree as a standalone program will create a new pathway of enrollment directly into the first year of medical school for a cohort of excellent and diverse graduating and graduated college students, with particular attention paid to recruiting students from CUNY. This pathway of admittance to the CUNY School of Medicine MD program will positively affect college-wide enrollment and ultimately the number of physicians practicing and serving in underserved communities in New York City. My esteemed colleague, Dr. Carmen Green, Dean of the CUNY School of Medicine, is here today should you have questions about this action item.
Dr. Green, would you like to come up? While you're coming up, I will move the approval of policy item 1B1B. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, so now we have any questions or discussions? Henry?
I think this is a no-brainer, but the only question I have is there room within the current facilities and structures to add additional students? I want to make sure this doesn't affect the ones in our City College 7-year program.
No, the plan is not to impact those students at all. We will have potential, as you can imagine, taking high schoolers, helping them to guide them to becoming doctors. There's some attrition. In the 3 years, for the undergraduate, our attrition rate is about anywhere from 10 to 18%. And so if we plan on a class size of 90, there'll be space available for potentially students to come in. Probably at a 1,300 physician shortage across the state, and this would actually help to appease that issue.
So you're not increasing the number of seats in the class? You're keeping it at a 90 cap, and it's just filling up with a...
It's just, this is all a bit of a technicality. This proposal should have gone in when the school was first established. And so it's really a technical matter. The curriculum does not change except for people come in as an M1. And so our plan at this point in time is not to increase, it's just to, New York needs doctors, and we're producing the doctors New Yorkers want to see. And so if we have capacity, why not use it?
I look forward to the day when you come back to us and say, we have to increase capacity, we have the demand, so
Well, I'll see
Keep
what I
it
can
going.
do about that.
keep it going.
Thank you for your comments.
Thank you. Any other questions, comments? Okay, if not, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The item passes. Thank you very much, Dr. Green. Policy item 1B2A is a resolution to establish a new institute on gender, law, and transformative peace at the City University of New York School of Law. Again, I call on Provost Hensel.
Thank you. The proposal to establish a new institute on gender, law, and transformative peace will allow the institute to deeply analyze gender-based abuses and help form the basis of policy recommendations that move communities from crisis and conflict into sustainable and transformative peace. New research from the institute will provide domestic and international policymakers and community-based leadership with analysis and recommendations for how policy responses to conflict and crisis situations can be reflective of community-based solutions. The Institute will also provide recommendations to support inclusive, participatory, and transparent engagement and make appropriate use of the normative legal framework to ensure intersectional gender perspectives are integrated from the outset of any crisis response. My esteemed colleague, Dean Sudasetti of the CUNY School of Law, has joined us today to answer any questions that you might have about the Institute.
Thank you. And while Dean is coming up, I'll move the approval of policy item 1B2A. Do I have a second? Thanks, John. And now, hello, thank you. Any discussions? I have one question. I was probably going to be on top of you.
You get to go first.
I get to go first?
Boss.
Obviously, with the establishment of an institute, the funding is always a question. And I want to make sure that I understand, and I see we have from Brooklyn, that a lot of the funding is coming from the Brooklyn Foundation into the law school, from what I understood. And I wasn't clear on the amount of dollars we were talking about, and if we have enough to actually fund the institute.
Sure. Thank you for having this conversation with us. I'm joined by President Anderson from Brooklyn College and Lisa Davis, my colleague at the law school. And I think that the money that has been fundraised is substantial and will allow for a plan for sustainability for the Institute. And it is flowing from the Brooklyn College Foundation to where it's needed. And so some of that is going for operational coverage at the law school, and some of it will go towards programmatic needs. And the structure of it might be a little bit different, but it is that is not money that Brooklyn College Foundation is holding for other things. It is what has been raised for the Institute that is flowing in that way, and I invite my colleagues to add to that if they'd like.
Okay. And other fundraising besides, I mean, is that the primary and only source of funding for the Institute? Are there other plans of fundraising independent of what Brooklyn College has done?
So just to be clear, the fundraising for this has occurred in many different areas. We have funding coming in from a number of foundation sources and individual donors. It's flowing through Brooklyn College Foundation.
Is the
but
recipient of all the
yes.
funds for the Institute?
Yes,
Okay,
and it's
yes.
a significant number of funders who are providing the funding that is flowing through Brooklyn College's foundation.
Thank you.
Yes. There was an inconsistency, I was trying to figure it out. One of the whereas clauses of the resolution, which goes on forever, says, it will not rely on or require tax levy resources from us, you, or other colleges. But it also says, Brooklyn College will provide funding directly to CUNY Central for institute employees hired on tax levy lines. How do those two, I mean, is it going to use tax levy funds or is it not going to use tax levy funds?
It's not. The funding that is for the employees of the Institute is all soft funding. It's all grant funding. And the way we worked it out to be as efficient as possible is that the funding goes to Brooklyn College. It's held there. The employees are hired by CUNY Law School. So each school is making a substantial contribution to the work of the Institute. So what the Brooklyn does is, instead of giving that money to CUNY Law School, which then would have to give it to Central because these are hard lines that are paid with soft funds, it pays CUNY Central directly. So it reimburses CUNY Central for the cost of those employees of the Institute.
Got it. Thank you.
Other questions? Okay, if not, let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? That item passes. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Policy item 1B2B is a resolution to authorize the decertification of inactive centers, institutes, and consortia in accordance with policy 1.09. Now call on Provost Hensel once again.
The proposed action to authorize decertification of inactive centers, institutes, and consortia is carried out in compliance with the current Board of Trustees Policy 1.09, which requires such entities to be recertified every 5 years. In preparation for recertification, colleges and schools have been engaged in a thorough assessment and evaluation of all existing centers, institutes, and consortia. After any applicable governance approval procedures have been followed, college leaders have identified centers, institutes, and consortia which have become inactive or have merged with other entities. Upon review of this information, the Chancellor is recommending that a number of centers, institutes, and consortia be decertified. Such centers and institutes will be removed from the college inventory.
Thank you. So I will move this approval for policy item 1B2B. Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, discussion on this point.
Love it.
Love it. Thank you, Henry. Any others, problems? No? All right, so all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? That item passes. Policy item 1B3A is a resolution to appoint Margaret Rosario as Distinguished Professor at the City College of New York. I'll again call on Provost Hensel.
Professor Margaret Rosario has an extraordinary record of scholarly achievement and is internationally renowned as a pioneer in research about sexual identity and lesbian, gay, and bisexual youth. She has an outstanding record of publications in first-rate journals, with productivity and impact ratings placing her among the very top in her field. For her groundbreaking research, Dr. Rosario was awarded the prestigious Distinguished Scientific Achievement Award from the Society for the Scientific Study of Sexuality. My esteemed colleague, Provost of City College, Tony Liss, is here and can answer any questions that you may have about the appointment.
Okay. Is Dr. List here? Okay, right there. Do you have any questions? I don't think we have. I think it's pretty straightforward. Do you have any questions? No. Okay, so I'm going to move it. I'll move the approval of policy item 1B3A. Do you have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? The item passes. Thank you. Policy item 1B3B through 1B3Q pertain to resolutions to award immediate tenure at various institutions with an application of bylaw 6.2B. Wendy, I'll call on you again.
As part of a national and international communities of scholars, CUNY customarily recognizes the judgment of colleagues at other institutions with respect to faculty personnel decisions and has an expectation of reciprocity. To attract renowned scholars in all disciplines to join the university faculty and advance the strategic agenda, there is an expectation that tenure will be awarded upon appointment. The following faculty members came to CUNY with tenure from other institutions. From Baruch College, Bruce Weber, who was appointed by the board in June as Dean of the Zicklin School of Business. From Brooklyn College, Jasmine Mitchell and Suresh Sethi, who held a joint appointment at Cornell University and a cooperative research unit of the U.S. Geological Survey. From City College, Jervette Ward. From the Graduate Center, Mark Hauber, who has rejoined the CUNY family. From Hunter College, Stefan Al, Peter Craig-Meal, Yomira Figueroa, I'm sorry, my apologies if I'm saying these incorrectly, Julia Lechuga, Bronwen Wickeser, and Priscilla Yaman. From John Jay College, Nicole Awi, Mustafa Demir, LaDawn Hagland, and Simone Martin Howard. From Queens College, Andrea Athemiou, and that is it. Representatives from the various colleges are here today if you have questions about any of these appointments.
Okay, so I'm going to move the approval of policy item 1B3B through 1B3Q. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussions on this matter? I think it's pretty Pretty straightforward, okay. So let's vote, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Any abstentions? The item passes, thank you. Policy item 1B4 is a resolution requesting approval of the Faculty Personnel Matters Report of the Education Policy Committee. Again, Wendy.
The information contained in the October report includes appointments and reappointments with tenure and fellowship leaves that were previously reported to the Committee for Faculty, Staff, and Administration. Faculty are evaluated and reappointed on a systematic basis through a highly rigorous process involving local governance as well as approval of the institution's chief academic officer and president, with the goal of awarding tenure to retain superior faculty. Fellowship leave is granted to faculty to conduct research, improve their teaching, or produce creative work as part of the nationally recognized responsibilities of the professoriate. The Faculty Personnel Matters Report of the Education Policy Committee presented today was generated in summary form from faculty data entered by the campuses into CUNY First, the university's system of record, between May 9th, 2023 and September 4th, 2023.
Okay, thank you, Wendy. So I move approval of policy item 1B4. Do I have a second?
Second.
Yes, question. Angela?
No.
No?
Second
Wait a second. Any discussions on this, questions? Okay, we'll vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstention? That item passes. Policy item 1B5 is a resolution requesting approval of the actions in the Curriculum and Academic Policy Dashboard Report. Again, Wendy.
Routine academic matters, local academic policies, and course inclusions in the university's general education program are presented to the Committee on Education Policy in summary form via an online dashboard. The Curriculum and Academic Policy Dashboard makes it possible to explore graphic representations and charts of the academic activity from the previous month and over time, using various tools and filters. Highlights from this month's dashboard include 16 program actions and 2 new or revised graduate policies.
Okay. I move the approval of policy item 1B5. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion on this? Questions? None? Let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstentions? No, that item passes. With no more items on the policy calendar, I'll now call on Executive Vice Chancellor Hensel to address the information items on the agenda.
Thanks. There's a resolution today that's going before the Board Committee on Finance Administration regarding a new pricing structure for global graduate programs under Baruch College's Global Partnership Agreements. We thought it would be useful to present to all of you some background information about that action because it obviously has educational effect and impact as well. My colleagues from Baruch College, Provost Linda Essick and Bruce Weber, Dean of the Zicklin School of Business, and President David Wu, I believe also is coming up, will now present this information.
Thank you for this opportunity to share information about our resolution to create a new pricing structure for our global dual degree master's programs. So for several years, Baruch has offered dual Master of Finance program through partnerships with institutions in China, Azerbaijan, and Italy. I know the Azerbaijan one is on hiatus, and it's only the Master of Finance. The new resolution that'll be considered later by the Finance Committee allows us to expand to additional master's programs and to offer a market competitive tuition structure. The current programs are governed by a 2018 policy of the Board of Trustees, which completely waived out-of-state tuition as well as academic excellence fees. We're now proposing that we offer a tuition rate that's market competitive, similar logic to online programs at 1.2 times the in-state rate as opposed to completely waiving the out-of-state rate. And to be able to restore the academic excellence fees to support these programs and in order to keep things in line, reduce the program supplement. Program supplements are necessary for additional educational opportunities that these students have, enrichment opportunities that aren't available through other funding. The global programs don't only benefit the students who we partner with from other countries. When we bring a cohort of students, and this is done in a cohort format, bring a cohort of students in from another institution. They sit side by side during their year at Baruch with students from the US and from New York City. And that enriches the experience for everybody. You all know, I think, that business education is a global endeavor because business is international. So this is really an opportunity for both for our partnering institutions and for our students who are resident at Baruch. I don't know if you want to add anything, President Wu?
I think what's innovative here is that we have a partner organization and they bring us a group. So it's not finding students one by one. So in effect, we're getting a pool of students, and other business schools find this kind of cohorted program attractive. So this gives us the ability to go out and have those conversations. And given that our rankings have risen recently, we're expecting a lot more contact from overseas universities to enter into these kind of dual degree programs.
We want to be able to expand beyond the MS in finance to also include the MS in data analytics, the MS in marketing in particular. The original governing resolution from 2018 only covered the MS in finance and only a very specific list of partner institutions. We have some opportunities now to expand to India, potentially Malaysia and Korea, Singapore, and we need a new resolution to give us the ability to do that.
Thank you. Any questions?
Is Bocconi in Milan one of the schools?
It's Bonzano in Bonzano.
Well, Bocconi is the leading business school in Europe, not only in Italy, but Bocconi.
Yes,
I know
yeah,
Bocconi.
yeah,
Okay.
that's
I
not
think,
who,
I think it's debatable whether they're the number one business school. I used to be at the London Business School.
Okay, but so
But
it's not,
it's a top-ranked business school.
It's a top-ranked business school. Right now, we couldn't enter into an agreement with them if we wanted to because the previous resolution only allows us to partner with Bonzano, which is who we have an agreement with.
okay, thank you.
But this new resolution would allow you to be able to look into that and
Exactly.
other
Yes,
institutions
and
in
to
other countries.
respond to the market in a more, in a suitably flexible way.
Well, I don't see a downside of expanding this globally.
That's what Trustee Berger said too.
John?
We talked about the 1.2 multiplier being competitive. Can you give a sense of how competitive and where the market is in the region
Yeah.
for these types of students?
Yeah, that's great, and in the full resolution, there's a sort of comparative analysis. So we are trying to keep the total cost for students at around $800 per credit, and that's with tuition and all fees for the total program cost. So these are students who are taking a master's degree at their home institution, they come to Baruch for a summer, 2 semesters in a summer. So they can complete their 30-unit master's degree that way. So yeah, we're trying to stay in that not much more than $800 per unit, per credit.
And then, but the regional alternatives, I don't know, NYU say, would that be much more than 800 per credit? I don't know what the scale.
You know, what's interesting, because these are individually negotiated agreements, they're not published the way our regular tuition is. So it's a little hard to tell. Now, fortunately, Dean Weber had a similar program at Delaware, where the price was roughly in that area. It was a little bit lower. We recruited him in part because we're more highly ranked than his previous institution, and we're really hopeful that we can up that a little bit. But I don't know what NYU would be charging, but Harvard's probably charging more.
Any other questions? All right, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
So with no more items on the agenda, I move to adjourn this meeting. Do you have a second? Okay, all in favor, I'm sure. Yes, done.
Thank you.